Be a studio technician, you can be a public relations assistant, you can be a website content developer. All these are jobs and they are earning. Nisizitaje hivi watu waangalie waseme sasa hiyo ni nini. They are earning. People are earning from these kinds of jobs. You can be an event organizer. You can be a trainer, training others. You can be a news anchor. You can be a TV radio host. Now these are the ones that I know they are in the mind of journalists. They are in the mind of journalists. You can be a media researcher, doing research on media. You can be a social media administrator, you manage someone's social media, account. You can be a communication officer.
Anaitwa Joyce Chameleone pale Tuboga. Jamani, kibaba hicho kimekwisha 12 baada ya saa 2 majira kwa Afrika Machikilioni TBT edition. This is how we do it every Thursday by the way. Kama ndio unaingia nami ama kama ndio unajiunga nami asubuhi ya leo hapa ndani ya Chuka University Radio 98.8 FM. Nita Kigogo Antondolo kama kawaida, na hapo awali kwa nimekuahidi kwamba itakuwa naye Madam Joyce Mghoi ambaye ni Director of Career Services hapa Chuka University. Yuko hapa na mambo mazuri kuhakikisha kwamba unaelimika, vile vile tunahakikisha kwamba ukiwa pale nje, kama ni mwanafunzi, kama ni mtu ambaye unataka kufanya kozi fulani, unaweza kujua ni kipi ambacho unafaa kukifanya pale na what can you do to achieve certain ama goals ambazo umesha set pale. Kwa hivyo tutakuwa namkaribisha atuambie ametuandalia yepi, na najua kwamba mambo ni mengi. Sababu siku ya leo lazima tujue mwanahabari ni nani na nani ambaye ni komedia.
Sawa.
Tunajua kwamba Coops wameshafungua portali yao. Najua kuna habari nzuri. Good morning madam.
Well, morning to you. How are you?
I'm so fine.
Uko mzima?
Niko mzima kabisa, nashukuru.
That is good.
Karibu sana.
My name is Joyce Mghoi Macharia, Director Office of Career Services in Chuka University. And I'm happy to be here just to educate people about courses, about careers. And right now I just want to inform everyone listening to us that Coops has opened their revision, the first revision. The other one was application.
Right.
Now anybody who applied, then many people have received a message that they have been selected to one of the institutions or to one of the courses that they selected. So if you got a message that you have been selected to one of the universities you picked, then it means that you have already secured a place.
Right.
If you did not get a message, or you got a message telling you to revise, you need to go to Coops portal again and revise your courses. Now when you go to revise your courses, you may find that some of the courses that you selected have already been filled up, or some of the universities or institutions that probably you wanted a course in have already been, they are not there, they are not appearing when you want to select them. You need to know that maybe they are not appearing because they have already been filled. They have already been filled, and therefore that's why they are not appearing. So what I would advise students is, if you really qualified to do a course but it is no longer appearing, maybe in cluster points and everything, you need to choose a course in that particular university, any course now in that particular university.
Right.
Then when you go there, you do something we call inter-faculty transfer.
Right.
You can transfer your course. You can go there and tell them, I came here, I was called to do this particular course, but I've seen you have this other one that I qualify for. I would like to move from this one to this one. So they are able to do that. So I really want to just give that particular announcement. But today I wanted us to talk about journalism and mass communication as a cause.
Right.
Journalism and mass communication as a cause. That is what I want us to talk about. Sometimes it is also referred to as journalism and mass media. You know, the different universities have labeled it differently. So if there are any students that have chosen this course out there, or if there are any students that are interested in this course, I want to give them a bit of information about it, so that now when they are selecting it, and if they have been called to do this course, then they know exactly what it entails or what it is all about. Some of the universities call it communication and mass technology. technology and media technology. Some of the universities or colleges call it journalism, basically just journalism. Then we also have film animation, we also have media science, we also have social communication, we have applied communication, we have also Kiswahili and media studies. So you can find the names may vary here and there, but basically this is journalism and mass communication.
Right.
Yes. And what does a journalist do, or what does it really entail for a journalist? A journalist generally would disseminate information, or would give out information in large scale, in different medias. He will use different medias, or he will communicate this information to different audiences, because again, information has different audience, has different target. Like now, the information that I've just given about COOPS, it is not for everyone. It is for those for livers and their parents and probably their relatives, isn't it? But the rest of the people may not really need that information. So a journalist communicates to different people or different audiences, and also, you know, uses a certain channel. So they share information with the targeted audience. They share information. They can share this information through newspapers. They can share this information through radio. They can share this information through television, through magazines, through, you know, cinemas. They can be able to share this information using very many different channels. They can also use films. You know, films are there. The internet is there. The internet, you can get a lot of information, and it's being shared nowadays. It's being shared by even quacks. Even us quacks who are not journalists, we are sharing information there.
We call them freelance journalists.
Yes. We are sharing information there. Billboards, brochures, books, flash discs, and so on. So a journalist can share information using several media, digital resources, or video cassettes, or, you know, very many ways they can be able to communicate this information. So a journalist generally gives information, or shares information, or passes information to different people and different audience, and for different reasons, reasons. So a journalist, then we can say, if you are aspiring to do a course in journalism, or you have been called to do a course in journalism, what are you going to be doing, or what is it that you are, what is the main thing? Like now when we talk about a teacher, we know the main thing of a teacher is to do what? Teach. Kuna vitu zingine mwalimu huwa anafanya, lakini generally ukiuliza mtu mwalimu anafanya nini, generally wanasema mwalimu anafundisha. So a journalist is involved in gathering information. You must gather information. You must go out there and collect information. You must collect information, you must gather information, you must write that information down, you must delve into it, you must go deeper, you must do some kind of researches. And that's why sometimes I hear, Anthony, when you people are giving news here, you give so many details until I wonder, hey, where did they get that one from? So they dig information. Sometimes they even go into the history of that information that they are giving. So generally, that is what a journalist is supposed to do. I want to tell our viewers that are viewing us in TikTok, we are live at Touch of Grace KE. Continue to like, continue to share, continue to tap there, and also we will upload this video in our YouTube channel, Touch of Grace KE. You can be able to view there. And I'm telling those that are doing revision, COOPS revision, again in Touch of Grace KE, we have step-by-step revision, how to do your revision step by step. So they can also go there and they can be able to get information.
Bila shaka huyo ni Madam Joyce Mghoi ambaye ni Director of Career Services hapa katika chuo kikuu cha Chuka. Na tusikizungumza ile before tuende break kidogo tu. Kwamba kuna watu ambao wana confuse journalism ama kukuwa mtangazaji, kuwa comedian.
Do you know why people are confusing that, Anthony Kigogo? The reason why people are confusing that is because in Kenya currently, the media houses have employed comedians as, as presenters. They have employed comedians as presenters. So people are starting to imagine, if I become a comedian, I will become a what? A presenter.
And actually not all comedians are funny.
Not all comedians are funny. And leave alone that, not all comedians can have the etiquette of being in the media or being presenters. They don't have that courtesy, they don't have that etiquette, they don't have the skills, they don't have all that which is required for somebody to be in the media as a presenter. So they should not confuse a comedian with a presenter. A presenter anaweza weka madoido pale watu wacheke kule nyumbani, but in the real sense they are using skills, they are using some of the skills that they have been given, and they know the boundaries. They know the boundaries of the comedy. They know what you can pass and what you cannot be able to pass. So a journalist is a trained person, is a qualified person, is someone who has been given skills to do that kind of a job. A comedian can just be standing like this and people are laughing.
Right.
You see, so that is, it's not the same. Now, what I want to say here is this. Many news rooms, they are employing comedians just to bring fun into people's lives, but not necessarily that these comedians are journalists. They are there as comedians. They are just basically as comedians. And in most cases, it will be that comedian with a journalist, a trained journalist. Right. So they are doing it together so that this trained journalist can keep some boundaries and checks and balances. So they should not confuse the two. A comedian is not a presenter. A comedian is not a journalist.
Asante sana Madam Joyce Mghoi kwa kufafanua jambo hilo la katikati, ni nani comedian, ni nani mwanahabari.
Yes.
Tuchukue break kidogo, tutakaporejea tutakuwa tunajua ni kipi ambacho, kwa sababu najua kuna wanafunzi ambao sasa hivi wanafanya revision na wengi wao wanasema kwamba nifanye communication, nichukue course ya communication studies ama nichukue course ya journalism. Are they different? Are they the same?
Okay.
Tukirejea pale msikilizaji tutakuwa tunakujibu swali hilo.
Sawa.
Nambari SMS 0740233477. Sitauliza swali lako pale na kuhusiana na mambo na wanahabari, communication studies pale, na kama una revise pale course zako kwa mara ya pili, kwa sababu tunajua kwamba KUPS portal tayari imeshafunguliwa pale.
Yes.
Na kunakuambia ni kipi ambacho unafaa kufanya pale.
Yes.
In the second part of our interview tutakuwa tunarudi hapa. Kibao chake Joyce Chameleone Tuboge kinazidi kutamba. Dakika 29 zimekata baada ya saa 2 majira kwa ni Afrika Mashariki. Tuko naye Madam Joyce Mghoi ambaye ni Director of Career Services hapa katika chuo kikuu cha Chuka. Tumezungumzia swala nzima la wanahabari na vile vile masuala mengine kuhusiana na KUPS portal. Madhabahu tayari imeshakuwa open kwa second revision kwa mwanafunzi ambaye tayari ulisha apply kwa mara ya kwanza lakini ukakosa bahati ya kuweza kuchaguliwa. Nafasi ipo ya kuweza kuchagua ama kuweza kufanya course revisions pale. Karibu sana Madam Joyce Mghoi kwenye awamu ya pili ya mjadala wetu asubuhi ya leo. Na tukizidi ni kuna swali ambalo nilikuwa nimekuuliza pale kabla tusepe kuhusiana na tofauti iliyopo kati ya utangazaji na communication studies pale. Journalism na communication studies, kuna tofauti?
Okay. There could be a little variation but not much. Because somebody who has done purely communication, we will not call that person a journalist. Someone who has done just communication, communication studies alone, we may not call this person a journalist. But somebody who has done journalism and communication, then this person becomes a journalist. Now, communication is just basically passing information. It can be in an organization. You are the one who passes information to the outsiders. You are the one who receives that information, then packages information, then communicates, gives official communication from the organization and so on. And generally is just involved in communication. But now when we talk about journalism, a journalist can be someone in communication because now that is what it entails. A journalist can be involved in communication, but you cannot say somebody who has done communication studies alone is a journalist. So that's basically the difference, but not much. But someone who is has done communication studies, we can't call that person a journalist because there are some skills and techniques that are for journalists that he doesn't have, now, and some training that he doesn't have.
Now, is there an advantage that one has over the other when it comes to job opportunity? No. We can't say there is one that is better than the other. Actually, currently we are just telling the students that getting a job is your own proactiveness. How proactive are you? How outgoing are you? How unajituma aje? Vile vijana wanasema kujituma. Unajituma aje? So most of these courses is not basically just by doing it. It is actually by what are you doing even after you have
have done that particular course.
All right.
Yes.
Now, what does this career involve? What is its day-to-day activity?
Day-to-day activity of a journalist.
No.
Now, we talked about gathering relevant information. That's one thing that a journalist will have to do.
Right.
Another thing is editing and presenting information.
Right.
A journalist must know how to edit and be right on point,
right,
and how to actually package that particular information and how to present the information. So a journalist will gather information, that is day-to-day activities, edit information, present that particular information, broadcast features or social media posts or blogs or articles in the print media. That is what a journalist will be able to do with this particular information that he has gathered, he has edited, and he wants to present. He can present in these forums. Also photographing. A journalist can present, one photo can talk 1,000 words.
Exactly.
That is presented by a journalist. Then operating and maintaining video cameras. That is the work of a journalist. Designing computer-based graphics. Again, that's what the work of a journalist. He can design computer graphics. He can also create visual displays.
Right.
Visual displays. When he sees something, when he sees a poster, when he sees something, a journalist can be able to advise you, this poster, if you did it this way and that way, it would be much better. Then a journalist can also design, is involved in designing and managing websites. You know, a journalist can look at someone's website and they can be able to know that this website can be done better in this way or that way.
Right.
So they are able to do that. So they can create even websites and they can be able to present information there. They can also manage operations in a radio and television station. Like now what you are doing, Kigogo.
Exactly.
You can be left here and we can be sure we will receive all that information 24/7. So that's what a journalist does, managing operations in a radio or in a television station. That's what basically a journalist is supposed to do.
Now, are there skills that a journalist require?
Very much, and very many actually. You cannot just wake up in the morning and say, now I am ready, I'm a journalist. No. You cannot do that.
Right.
There are some skills that you need to have. Of course, some of the skills we can say they could be inborn. You know, there are some people who are born just with some kind of characteristics.
Exactly.
But a number of them also can be learned and should be learned.
Right.
Anybody that is doing journalism and mass communication must learn these skills. So one of the skills is good communication. Good communication, both verbal and written. You must write clearly. Anybody listening to you, anybody reading what you have written should be able to get the information. I should be able to get exactly what you are passing.
Exactly.
Asije akapata some other information and then was sikuwa nasema hivyo. This is not what I was saying. You know, there sometimes someone communicates and then when you tell them what you have understood from them, they start telling me this is not what I thought this is not what I wanted to communicate.
Right.
So they must be good in communication skills, both verbal and written. They must be creative. Journalists must be creative.
Wonderful.
Creativity is very, very key. Creativity is very, very key. They must be curious. Curiosity is where you, is not the negative curiosity, but the curiosity where you want to find out more, or you want to find out more information. When you're given information, you have to delve more into it. Adaptability. Journalists must adapt. You've seen journalists that follow battlegrounds,
exactly,
where people are fighting, like even when they are fighting in Israel there. You see journalists in the middle of these fracas. You will see journalists. Why? They are adapting. They are saying when there is peace, I'm here. When there is no peace again, I am here. So a journalist must have adaptability. A journalist must have research skills. Research skills is where you are able to find out more information about something, about an issue. They must have team spirit or teamwork. They work together. They work together. They even inform each other. There is an event here. There is something here. Please come. Please send someone. So we must work together. A team spirit is very, very important. Then we have self-confidence. Self-confidence is guts. Do you have the guts to go and collect this information? Do you have the guts to go and get this information or gather this information? So they must have self-confidence. They must have the guts. They must have presentation skills where if you look at a journalist, can you be able to respect him as a journalist? You know, sometimes we are told you are addressed the way you are addressed.
All right.
So journalists must present themselves in a way that they actually command respect and they command, you know, people having confidence giving them information. Kuna mtu anaweza kukuuliza swali usimjibu, lakini kuna mwingine anaweza kukuuliza the same question na umjibu. Why? Because of how these people are presenting themselves. So self-presentation is very important. Analytical mind is very, very important. And I think journalists wanakuanga na analytical mind. Sometimes wanaweza kuwa ni maybe interview alafu wana view kwa kiatu. Na kiatu haikuwa inaongea. I don't know whether you've ever seen that. These are analytic mind. Sometimes they could be talking about someone who is going through challenges. Then they view something which probably was not, you know, they just so that they show you the depth of this particular thing. Right. So analytical mind is very, very key. Attention to details, very, very key. They must have attention to details. Then they must have social responsibility. Social responsibility is even when they are passing true stories, and these true stories are traumatizing. They must have some kind of guard.
Right.
What can I show? What can I not show? Social responsibility to avoid trauma. Trauma. So they must also work independently with minimal supervision. If you are sent out there to collect stories, your boss will not be calling you every now and then. Uko hapo, umechukua story, umefanya nini? They cannot do that. So you must work with minimal supervision. And finally, they must have some learning skills, lifelong learning skills. A journalist must continue to upgrade himself or herself day and day, new learning skills, new learning and so on. So they must be able to do that.
Oh, the future is bright for those.
The future is bright for journalists.
Tumezungumza sana kuhusiana na mambo ya journalism.
Yes.
Lakini najua kwamba kuna mtu anajiuliza kwamba what are the job opportunities?
Nitafanya kazi wapi? You know, ameniambia hizo stories zote. I'm supposed to have this and that and that. Lakini nitafanya kazi wapi? Now, most people when they're doing journalism and mass communication, their aim is to be in the media.
Right.
Mtangazaji awe kama Lulu Hassan, awe kama mtangazaji mwingine hapo, awe kama Anthony Kigogo. You know, yani they just want to be in the limelight where they can be able to be seen. They are presenting news.
Right.
That is what most students, when they are picking journalism and mass communication, that's what they have in mind. And I want to tell them that that is not the only thing. That is just 1% or 0.00% of what journalists do.
Right.
What journalists do. So a journalist can be a video editor. Just like I've said, a journalist must edit information. You must edit so that now you go right to the point. So there is a video editor. You can work as a journalist, you can work as a video editor, you can work as a reporter. You can work as a reporter, collecting information out there. You can work as a photojournalist. You can work as a photojournalist. You can work as a camera operator. Can work as a camera operator, where you are the one that is when their presentations or when their press conferences, you are the one there operating a camera. So you can work also as a print and broadcast editor. You can be editing print or can be editing magazines, newspapers, and so on. You can be a sound technician. A sound technician, checking the sound whether it is okay. You can be a studio technician. You can be a public relations assistant. You can be a website content developer. All these are jobs and they are earning. Nisizitaje hivi watu waangalie waseme sasa hiyo ni nini. They are earning. People are earning from these kinds of jobs. You can be an event organizer. Right. You can be a trainer, training others. You can be a news anchor. You can be a TV radio host. Now these are the ones that I know they are in the mind of journalists. They are in the mind of journalists. You can be a media researcher, doing research on media. You can be a social media media administrator, a social media administrator. You manage someone's social media. You manage someone's social media account. You can be a communication officer or an assistant communication officer. You can be a content developer or a content creator. Now it is selling. Content is selling. Really, content is selling. You can be a graphics designer. You can be a film producer. You can be a film researcher. You can be a cinematographer or videographer. You can be that. You can be an animator. Nowadays we have people doing films and doing maybe even advertising that are animation in nature. They have animation. You can be that. You can be a script writer. Can even be a creative advertiser. So all those are job opportunities for those people that are doing journalism and mass communication.
Right.
Mko na demand, by the way. Mko na demand. Lakini mujitume. Lakini
bila shaka. Na tukizungumza hilo kwamba tunajua kwamba mwezi wa 4 wanafunzi watakuwa naelekea kule katika attachment places. Sasa sijui ni wapi ambapo wanafunzi anaweza elekea ama anaweza apply for attachment.
Now for attachment they have to go to an organization that actually will be able to host them and will be able to give them some kind of mentorship, because attachment is basically mentorship. When you're going for attachment, you're going for job mentorship. You're going to be mentored in relation to your job. So they must go for in organizations that have that kind of a structure where they can learn different skills. All these skills that I'm talking about, they must be able to learn them in a attachment. So they need to go to institutions and organizations that can be able to give them these particular skills.
Asante sana Madam Joyce Mghoi, labda tupate maswali 1, 2, 3 hapa, maana kile naona mashauliza maswali mengi hapa, lakini kumbuka pale msikilizaji 07023347 ndilo nambari ya SMS marafa hapa studio. Nikisha tuma jumbe wako pale ama swali lolote pale kuhusiana na wanahabari na vile masuala kuhusiana na communication studies pale utakuwa unajibu pale, maana tuko na very qualified personnel ambaye ni Madam Joyce Mghoi ambaye ana deal na masuala kuhusiana na career services hapa chuo kikuu cha Chuka. Tupate swali moja madam.
Yes.
Anauliza kwamba hello, gotea madam hapo.
Nimegoteka.
Swali
ama mtu anajibunge aje hiyo swali ya kugota.
Anasema kwamba swali langu ni what are possible opportunities for communication studies since she has said it is not purely journalist.
Okay, I think that one we are going to look at it in the next on Thursday.
Right.
We will look at that communication studies and we will also look at community development. I want us to look at the course that is called community development. The reason why I want to do this is because I want to demystify courses. There are many courses out here that students can do, but they don't know anything about those courses.
Right.
And that's why I want to really demystify about courses. Touch of Grace KE is a YouTube channel. I have done very many courses there also. I have nimezifafanua, nikasema hii course inataka nini na where will you be able to work. Again, I've done that. So that difference giving about communication studies, because it's a topic on its own. We will do it on next Thursday, but let them continue to listen and let them continue to be with us.
Anasema good morning gotea madam sana, listening from Chuka Town. Asante sana kwa kuwa tune in. Anasema good morning, niulize kwamba Chuka University wanapeana ama wana offer journalism course?
Yes, we do. Right. Actually we do. Journalism and mass communication, we have it in Chuka, and the advantage we have is that we have a radio station where they can be able to practice their skills, and of course we are upgrading as time goes on. Soon probably we'll be having a TV station. So let them come to Chuka University because they'll be able to get skills. We have journalism and mass communication in Chuka University. So let them come.
All right.
Yes.
Asante sana, huyu ni Madam Joyce Mghoi tumekuwa naye hapa. Labda maneno yako ya mwisho,
maneno yangu ya mwisho ni kwamba I'm just encouraging students not to give up, to continue to apply for their courses. I'm also telling them that yes, they may be saying even if you do this course you'll not get a job, but that's not true. That's not true, because jobs are given to those people that go to school, not to those that don't go to school. So let them go to school, do a course, do a certain course, wajitume, wakuwe aggressive, and they'll be able to be just fine.
Labda kuna mtu nataka kusalimia?
Not really, not right now, but anybody who is listening to me, of course, is my fan, and that's somebody I want to greet. I want to tell them, continue to listen to us, continue to be with us, so that we can continue to learn together.
Shasema for more information, fika pale Touch of
Now,
Grace.
we have a career day. We have a career day tomorrow. Every student that is listening to me, we have professional courses launch and a career day tomorrow at the pavilion at exactly 8:30. 9 will be starting the program.
Right.
So let fourth years come, third years come. That is a must. Third years and fourth years is a must. And all the other students, let them come.
Right.
Because they'll be able to gain a lot from CEOs. We have CEOs, watu wamefanya ma PhD, ma doctors. They'll be coming tomorrow just for us, just for our students. So let them come. I invite them.
Asante sana Madam Joyce Mghoi, shukrani tena zaidi na kutakia siku nzuri.
Thank you.
Vile vile endelea na kazi nzuri ambayo unafanya katika chuo kikuu cha Chuka. Dakika 46 zimekata baada ya saa 2 majira kwenye Afrika Mashariki. Hii ni Chuka University Radio mita bendi ya 98.8 FM. Kumbuka mimi nafahamika kama Kigogo Ntondolo kama kawaida. Niko nawe hapa mpaka mida ya saa 4 ikiwa ni TBT edition jamani. Asante sana kwa watu ambao wamekuwa nasi hapa katika wakati ule wa mjadala. Tutakuwa na sepa kidogo tu in the next few minutes kuna rejea hapa manake kumbuka Drone Leviticus bado yuko pale akitafuta ni jinsi gani ambavyo atakuandalia ripoti ama habari za saa 3 ambazo zitapewa kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Ngoma ya Chuka University Song inakukamia through pale ikiwa leo ni TBT edition.